I hope you like loot, because you can get a ton of it in patch 12.0.5. Bonus rolls have returned, now with a bit of a twist. Your loot is guaranteed, with some caveats of course. So let's talk about how this system works, when to spend your bonus rolls, and how to make sure you never waste any rolls, ever. If you remember this guy, Decimus, he is about to be your new best friend. You can find him sort of near the portal in the Voidstorm zone. See here. Every week you're going to be able to trade Voidlight Marl, Veteran Dawn Crests, or some gold to receive 2 Nebulous Voidcores. Thankfully, it isn't too expensive. But these Voidcores are going to be your new bonus roll currency. So I'm going to refer to them as bonus rolls from here on out because Nebulous Voidcores is a bit much. So, to use these bonus rolls, you're just going to complete a raid encounter or boss, or even a Mythic plus dungeon run. You can get them from delves and prey, but I'm not going to cover that here. We're going to specifically focus on raid and Mythic plus rewards. You're going to have a loot pop up, and that's going to allow you to spend this cool new currency. And you're going to press the dice button to roll, you're going to get some loot. There are some really important things to keep in mind about this system. 1, these rolls are limited, and you're going to receive somewhere around 32 in total over the remainder of the season, give or take. 2, raid rolls are going to cost 2 of your bonus roll tokens, while rolling for Mythic plus dungeon loot only costs 1. 3, you'll receive a random piece of loot from the loot table based on your current loot specialization, so make sure it's set correctly. And receiving a piece of loot is going to remove it from the eligible items, so you can't get duplicates. And 4, the loot will reflect the difficulty of the content done. You'll absolutely only want to use these on either Mythic bosses or plus 10 dungeon runs for a chance at the best possible reward. These bonus rolls are incredibly powerful, and they need to be spent in the right places. So you're asking, when are we going to spend these and how are we going to do it? So to make this as simple as possible, I have 4 rules to follow in order of importance. Rule 1, spend these if you are at 8 or more banked rolls if targeting Mythic plus gear. The cap is raised by 2 each week, but on average, most of the dungeon pools can be fully exhausted in 8 bonus rolls. Rule number 2, target high priority or rare gear. Some items are going to make or break your specialization. An example of this could be a puzzle box, or another trinket, or a specific rare ring or necklace. Maybe a glaive off the last boss. Something that's got a real benefit to your spec. Alternatively, highly desirable pieces where everyone in your raid really wants it. We're talking things like the Eye of Midnight or Amulet of the Abyssal Hymn are really good targets to use this system on. Almost everyone is going to want those pieces, and the likelihood of you actually getting it awarded from raid is almost 0. You have 20 plus other people to compete with. Good luck. Use the roll system here. It's going to save you a lot of time and effort. Rule number 3. Spend them if you have a surplus of crests and no mythic items to use them on. So here, if you're over 160 mythic crests banked and you don't have items to spend it on, it's likely worth your time to spend some of this currency. You'll get an immediate and meaningful power increase and still have some crests left over for your next vault or raid drop. For this one, you'll want to balance power gains with actually targeting items. That decision is left up to you. Rule 4 is have a plan. This one's simple. Make a list of what you want to target and stick with it. This system rewards proper planning, so hang around here and we can talk about how to never waste one of your rolls. If you follow these 4 rules, you're going to be in a great spot and will be one step closer to your best in slot. Now, things are getting a little more complicated. I'll give Blizzard credit here. There's a lot of nuance in how you can spend, and I think there's a lot of benefit to be had from playing this properly. You're going to have to balance priorities between 3 raids, 9 bosses, 8 dungeons, and some of these loot pools are really bloated. To top it all off, you are limited on the amount of bonus rolls you get each week. Everyone's going to have a different situation here, but try and apply these principles that I talk about to your own gear and progression. Everyone's going to be unique. Use your best judgment, and if you're not sure, ask questions. So let me briefly touch on a few types of player categories, and then we'll get into the details. So, if you only do Mythic Plus, you're going to be spending all of your bonus rolls after you complete Mythic Plus dungeons. So your spending is going to be a lot less restricted. If you raid on a lower level difficulty that isn't Mythic, you'll also likely be spending your rolls in Mythic Plus dungeons, so I'd recommend completing plus 10s if possible. For those that are doing Mythic Raid, you're going to have to balance where you want to spend, and this can be a hard choice. And as a reminder, Raid loot costs 2 rolls, where Mythic Plus loot costs 1. The best place to start is going to be Raidbots. It is the best tool to use when it comes to making gearing decisions. The robot is smarter than you or I, so let's trust it for a bit here. You'll want to select the Droptimizer option, and we're going to run 3 different simulations, so we'll do this 3 times. First up is the Season 1 raids. You'll select Mythic difficulty, if that's the content you're doing, check Include Catalyst items, check your preferred gem, check Add a Vault socket, and then select your fight style down at the bottom. For our purposes here, I'd recommend a Patchwork 5-minute sim. It should get you the best results. And then you're going to hit Run Droptimizer. This is going to take a moment or so, but you can open another tab and do the same thing we just did for Mythic Plus dungeons. Just select all dungeons and follow the same other settings we just talked about. You'll run the same report yet again for Mythic Plus, but this time uncheck the Include Catalyst items box. This one's really important, and we'll get to that in a second. So after all of these simulations process, you're going to get a cool summary report. This is gold in helping us target where we should use our rolls. You will need to adjust the sorting order to expected value. This will take into account all of the items on the loot table and the amount of damage you'd expect to get per item received. It's not perfect, but it gives you a good idea. So let's start with the raid pieces, because usually your higher priority items are going to come from there. There are usually some really valuable pieces, and we absolutely want to look at those first, because those, for most people, are going to be their number 1 priority. So I'll use my own example for this, but feel free to run your own, pause the video, follow along, do whatever you're going to do, but find something that's going to work here. So using my example, you can see that some bosses very clearly have loot that's better than others. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, you know? So I'm going to immediately exclude some of the following bosses before we do anything else, because we don't need them. Aversian, Voracious, Veilgorn Ezrac, and Fallen King Salhadar are immediately removed from me. They are early bosses in the raid, and I don't particularly need many items from these bosses. Really, it would be a waste for me to use rolls here, so we're just going to take them out of the picture. So let's talk about Chimeras for a second here. It's a really accessible boss. Most Mythic guilds are going to be doing it relatively quickly, and it has some really good loot. I mean, for me, I could use 3 out of 4 of the items here, and every single one of them would be sizable upgrades. I mean, that's a benefit, but guess what? I'm not going to use my rolls here, and here's why. We kill this boss every week on Mythic, and I think I'm next up to receive the boots, so we can take that off. In addition, we can now catalyze any chest piece that we get from Raid or Mythic Plus, so my chest piece doesn't have to come from this boss. Gaze of the Aunseer is quite a good trinket, and I'd use it if I had it, but my preference would be the Beleren trinket. So, while all 3 pieces of loot are good, it's not something I'd really want to use a bonus roll on. I'd also eliminate any loot from the Crown of the Cosmos using similar logic. I can get a chest piece and belt from other places. Even though the belt is best in slot, these rolls are really better used elsewhere. And now things are going to get a little more tricky. So Vanguard of the Light, this one's an interesting choice. I'm still waiting on a 289 weapon to drop. I haven't gotten one from Vault, and we haven't killed Vanguard quite yet. So having that weapon would allow me to swap my embellishments and then eventually upgrade the weapon with an Ascendant Voidcore. That is arguably the biggest DPS gain I can get. But we're expecting to kill Vanguard of Light this week, and maybe things go south the following week. So if I do get the weapon, I definitely wouldn't use a bonus roll here, but there is a world where using some rolls here might make sense. And the last 2 on this list are self-explanatory. Beleren drops our best in slot trinket. a very good ring that is arguably best in slot for some folks, and it has a small loot pool. So I'm going to be using bonus rolls on this boss for sure. For Midnight Falls, this will also be another encounter I want to use bonus rolls on. We are quite some time away from killing it on Mythic, but by the time we do, every single one of my new weekly bonus rolls are going to go to this encounter. It drops a best in slot neck, potentially best in slot ring, and pants with leech that you can catalyze. These are what I would call parse pieces. You won't ever use them for actual progression because once Lure is dead, you don't technically need them. But they are still valuable for increasing your post-progression and farm performance and might help out a little bit as you head into next year, just the first week or so. I do want to make a special note here. We are unsure if the pieces rolled from Raid are going to match the item level that drops off the boss. I'd like to think it will, but I'm not entirely sure until I get my hands on it. I think it's a safe assumption that if you bonus roll an item, it's going to be the same item level that the boss drops, but we'll see. Think of it as an additional benefit if it is. So let's talk Mythic Plus now. The big thing to remember here is you can use one bonus roll for one piece of loot. So you could technically get 2 Myth Track pieces of loot a week, which is really good. And this is intentional from Blizzard. The dungeon pools have a lot more loot, so it just makes sense that you're going to get more bang for your buck when you spend your coins here. So if you're looking to maximize gear acquisition, so total amount of gear pieces and not niche pieces, you're going to want to use the Catalyst included Droptimizer report. Otherwise, I'm going to recommend using the Catalyst excluded report here, and I'll show you why. So I'll run you through both of mine. Like before, we can eliminate some of these options entirely. There are no specialty pieces in the majority of the dungeon. So for me, that leaves Nexus Point, Seat of the Triumvirate, and Myzara Caverns. Nexus Point offers 2 unique rings with a medium-sized loot table. Seat of the Triumvirate offers best in slot hands, at least for single target. And this one's got a massive loot table. Myzara Caverns offers a weapon, which for me is tied for best in slot with the Light Blinded Vanguard weapon, but I'm pretty confident I'm going to get the weapon from Vanguard, so I'm going to remove Myzara from the list. So that leaves 2 options left. Worst case scenario, I could spend all my bonus rolls over a 3-week period of time and I could get both rings from Nexus Point. That's pretty good. For Seat, it's looking to be a bit more inefficient. It could take up to 5 weeks of bonus rolls to even get the gloves. I'd almost be better served getting the gloves from Skyreach, which would take 3 weeks max, and these gloves have better stats in AoE or cleave scenarios. And let's be real, almost the entirety of Voidspire is an AoE or cleave fight. So if we're talking pure efficiency, I think the Skyreach gloves might be a better option here. But I do have time to decide. So you're probably thinking, well, crap, this is a lot of choice. How do I pick what works for me? So the good news is I've created a document to help with tracking. So if you would like to use this, follow the link in the description, open up the file, and you're going to click Make a Copy in the top left-hand corner. And then you can fill it out with your own selections. So here's what mine looks like filled out. I've used the notes sections to include when we expect to kill certain bosses on Mythic, and my main priorities are going to be really getting the trinket from Beloran, and then the parse pieces from Lura. Secondly, I do have some chase pieces from both Nexus Point and Seat of the Triumvirate. I will likely hold on to my bonus rolls for a few weeks, and we'll see what my vault gives me, because there's a real chance that I do get what I want in the vault. So what that means is you're really going to want to bank your rolls as late as possible for Mythic Plus loot specifically. You can gamble if you want, but there is a real reality where you get a piece you want from Vault after already spending a good few bonus rolls in the dungeon. I'd like to eliminate that problem entirely, so for me, I'm going to operate in certainty, so I'm going to avoid those situations. And sadly, that means I'm going to hold on to my coins for a little longer than some other folks. But this plan is entirely subject to change, based on both raid and vault drops. If you get really lucky in your vault, this is going to entirely change your plan. Let's say if I got a Light Blinded Vanguard weapon and the trinket off of Beloran all from my vault, I'm going to have to pivot and make new decisions. But the point is, this system is flexible and you can use the sheet and plan out in a way that makes sense for you and your guild. And obviously, if you get the items you want from regular drops, do shift your priorities and target other gear that you want the most. This system allows you to choose, so choose. And there is one other really important thing I do want to point out. We just found out that players will also be able to purchase these Void Cores from Vault Keeper Elysia for 6 Thalassian tokens of merit. So anytime you get a bad vault, you can grab the tokens of merit and then choose to buy a Void Core instead. And these do not count against increasing the weekly cap. So if you get a bad vault, there's still some really big benefits here. And all up, I think this system is phenomenal for what it is. It's intended to be both a gear catch-up system as well as bad luck protection. You can get whatever pieces you want. All you have to do is commit the resources, time and effort to get them. And if we're talking towards alts, it's incredible. My Demon Hunter, I'm just doing Mythic Plus, so I'll be able to spend really frequently and target pieces that really make an impact. It's not going to be as good as raid loot, but I'll still be able to get some really positive results. And this system lets you prioritize gear in a meaningful way, and I really like that. I'm also a sucker for getting the best gear possible, so the system, it really does it for me. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. And I do want to give a special shout out to our patrons. They make creating this content possible, and if you would also like to support the channel, the best place to do it is Patreon. You get some cool perks like log review, UI updates, Jesir radio, and more. Check it out. Don't forget to join the Discord. If you have any questions about what you should use your bonus rolls on, you can even ask there as well. May the odds be ever in your favor. Catch you in the next one.